Facebook and big tech giants are placing digital products in your kids' schools to help them, obviously. And if you think there's some other reason or motivation, you're obviously some sort of conspiracy theorist. Hello there, you 5.3 million awakening wonders. Welcome to our channel where we'll do our best to analyse the news and give you information as truthfully as we can within our own limitations in order that we can have a discourse, a discussion, a chat to brighten the light within and brighten the light without, to walk this path together, awakening in harmony against the forces that want to keep you in the dark. You know the drill by now, surely. If you want to come and see me live, I'm appearing all over the UK in places like Plymouth, Bristol, Carlisle. If you want to come, there's a link in the description. I do meditation, questions and answers. It's a crazy, wonderful, beautiful experience in a beautiful country with wonderful people. You'll love it. Now, let's get down to today's business. You know Facebook? Yeah, I've heard of them. You know big tech? Oh yeah, they're dominating my life and manipulating my behaviour right now, and ironically we're on a big tech platform right this minute. Yeah, right, those guys. They're putting their digital products into your kids' schools. Why? Well, as is always the case, they sort of package it and present it as, we're just here to help the children, we're here to help them with our digital products. So just let's make sure that all this help doesn't somehow rattle its way around the old pinball machine of life and lead to profit and data capture. Fingers crossed, eh? In June 2021, as students and teachers were finishing up a difficult school year, Priscilla Chan, wife of Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg, made a live virtual appearance on the Today Show announcing that the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative, CZI, along with its partner Gradient Learning, was launching Along, a new digital tool to help students and teachers create meaningful connections in the aftermath of the pandemic. When we say things like, and the mainstream media are complicit in the relationship between big tech and big business, you know, I say stuff like that. I'm Russell, and I'm always saying, oh, the mainstream media. And then people go, that's a conspiracy theory. Well then, why is Zuckerberg's wife being invited on the Today Show to soft sell this program to you lot? Oh, it's lovely, we're going to help children. That's not an impression of her, that's a generic help children impression. I don't know how she speaks, I don't watch Today's Show. You know, because the mainstream media are complicit in easing this into your life. What should be happening on the TV is people going, hold on a second, what are you going to do with that data when you've got it? Once you've given for free this thing to help them with their mental health and all that stuff that you're saying, what's going to happen to the data down the line? Are you going to, will ownership be retained by the schools and the individuals? Oh, I don't know, I don't think about that. We just let them, those boffins and spectacles handle that stuff. Get a boffin in here then. Right, you, what happens? Why are you being so aggressive? Because I'm trying to change the world and it's killing me. Now tell me, what happens to the data? We were going to sell it to marketers. Right, get out. You and all, out. Next up, Anderson Cooper, who's going to make the war seem like a much more appealing thing and necessary and something that doesn't need to be discussed. According to CZI and Gradient Learning, the science of Along shows that students who form deep connections with teachers are more likely to be successful in school and less likely to show disruptive behaviours. Oh, what, like standing up to authority, asking questions, not being blindly obedient? I mean, who would query the idea that good connections with your teachers aids learning? You remember from your own life, those teachers that maybe took a little bit of time with you, told you that they believed in you, took time to help you over the many bumps and curves in the road that education presents you, and also the teachers that were indifferent and stuff. Now, for me, that's literally almost, I'm going to say, a sacred relationship, mentorship, guruship. We all know already that schools primarily exist to prepare your children for the labour market, don't they? It's not like schools are going to package you up with skills. They're under so much pressure under there. Teachers, along with anyone who works for the public, nurses, people in the military, police, like, you know, people that are doing things for the right reasons, I admire them and respect them. But school, if you look at the model, is primarily to instill in your children notions of conformity and to prepare them to compete in the labour market. You better crush down your individuality a little bit. Don't ask too many questions, and if you do, put your hand up. What we need to do is de-school ourselves, not supplement our current schooling system with the phenomenal ability to weaponize data and manipulate behavior that we all know by now is intertwined with the digital giants' many models. CZI is one of many technology companies that have created software products that claim to address the social and emotional needs of children. And school districts appear to be rapidly adopting these products to help integrate the social and emotional skills of students into the school curriculum, a practice commonly called social emotional learning. Now, anyone who knows anything about public schooling knows that these places are under incredible financial pressure. They're understaffed. They don't have enough money. They're operating under bureaucratic restrictions that make their jobs even harder. So if some corporate partner offers them a little bit of assistance, don't you remember from your own school things like where there was like Coke machines installed in school? Like, look at that now. Why is there a Coke machine in your school? I thought it was the best thing that ever happened. Hey, Coke machine in the school. This is the best day of my life. And here's a cigarette vending machine. And here's a drug dealer. That's you now till you're 30. Have a nice life. Panorama Education, whose financial backers also include CZI as well as other Silicon Valley venture capitalists, our old friends, the venture capitalists, such as the Emerson Collective, founded by Laurene Powell Jobs, the widow of Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. So what we like about Steve Jobs, the dude knew how to run a business. Markets a survey application for collecting data on students' social emotional state that is used by 23,000 schools serving a quarter of the nation's students, according to TechCrunch. Wow, so that's a quarter of all humans are sort of being pooled into one huge data capture resource. You'll hear in social media marketing this funnel metaphor continually used. Like the mouth of the funnel is where they capture folk, and down the funnel you either pay money or you get strapped up with products or whatever. So this funnel now is capturing people when they're very young. If you're my age, and I am, you'll remember that at school, there was a bit when you're about 15 or whatever, where they sent all the banks in. What do banks do at school? Well, you're going to start a bank account, write a passage, initiation. Oh, I thought a rite of initiation was to instruct me as to what my duties would be now that I'm an adult, the obligations, letting go of childhood. No, it's to sign up with this bank. Because they know that once you sign up to a bank, you'll probably be with them for the rest of your life. I bet there's people watching this right now that had banks come into their school and you're still with that. Oh, we got our mortgage there, we got loans of them. Yeah, because they know you can't be bothered to move banks because they've made it so hard to move banks. Like the days where you go, I'm sick of calling this call centre, I'm moving banks. Right, I'm moving banks. Dude, press 1 if you want to move banks. 1. Press 3 if you've got the willpower to sit through an hour and a half of this bullshit. 3, I will do it. Hold, please. All right, I'll stay with the bank till I'm dead. That's more like it. Gaggle, which uses students' Google and Microsoft accounts to scan for keywords and collect social emotional related data, is contracts with at least 1,500 school districts, Education Week reports. Well, that's not worrying, is it? That they're scanning for social emotional related data. Like I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I'm afraid that people don't like me. Do you see how these tools could be used to make the world a better place? Like any of you that got kids, and if you hear your kids say, oh, I'm scared, this thing happened to me at school today, you're like, oh my God. You know, the idea that there are resources available to make a better world, but we're unable to utilise them, to unchain the beast, because it's all being dragged in the direction of relentless, unregulated profiteering. I don't even think they're evil. I think it is more like unconsciousness. Before the pandemic temporarily shuttered school buildings, the demand for tracking what students do while they're online was mostly driven by desires to prevent bullying and school shootings. Right, we've got to protect you. We've got to protect you from bullying and other nefarious conduct. Right, we've protected you now, gives you fucking money. Tech companies that make and market these popular software products claim to alert schools of any troubling social emotional behaviour students might exhibit when they're online so that educators can intervene. That's spying on children. Vice reports. But there is, however, no independent research that backs up these claims. There's no independent research. We're doing that, well, kids and that, for the bullying. Can you back that up with independent research? No, there isn't any. Why is that? Because any independent research would probably reveal our true motivations, which are financial, given that we're a business. Thanks for your honesty. COVID-19 and its associated school closures led to even more concerns about students' anxiety, depression and other serious mental health concerns. Now, a lot of us were trying to talk about that stuff at the time, the kind of problems that would come about as a result of lockdown, not to diminish the other medical emergencies that were taking place, but to be mindful of a holistic picture that includes mental health. I'm not claiming there's a conspiracy to deliberately create anxious and fearful states, but I am saying that it is advantageous to the powerful if large numbers of people are compliant due to their fear and anxiety. A major focus of CZI's investment in education is its partnership with Summit Public Schools to co-build the Summit Learning Platform to be shared with schools across the US. Since 2015, CZI has invested more than $280 million in developing the Summit Learning Program. An enticement that education technology companies are using to get schools to adopt Along and other student monitoring products is to offer these products for free, at least for a trial period or for longer terms, depending on the level of service. But free doesn't mean without cost, which is what free's sort of meant to mean, isn't it? And you can see how the pre-existing model operated. We all use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever platforms for free, but we are giving them the product. The product is us, our behavior, our focus, our attention, our very lives is the product. And that's being introduced into schools. My sense is that CZI, a big tech sponsored foundation, is unlikely to invest more than $280 million and indeed would not have $280 million were there not the opportunity for more power, authority and profit down the road. As CZI funds and collaborates with its non-profit partners to expand the scope of student monitoring software in schools, Facebook, aka Meta, is actively working to recruit and retain young users on its Facebook and Instagram applications. When I talk about regulating Facebook, I'm not talking about regulating your use of Facebook and so you can't say stuff and free speech. I'm talking about regulating Facebook's ability to make profit and ensuring that it's regarded as a kind of public resource and it literally is fed back into communities. I mean, that $280 million, like to develop the Summit Learning Program, wouldn't you rather see that in schools, setting up programs that help behavior, meditation, various other techniques that help your kids, activities for your kids? You don't believe that that would ultimately be more helpful than monitoring them all the time, turning them essentially into data till all they become is data? CZI's success at getting schools to adopt Along might come at the cost of exploiting children. Never mind, eh? Facebook is highly invested in creating commercial products for younger users, including an Instagram Kids application intended for children who are under 13 years. While Facebook executives discussed the known harms of their products on tweens, they nevertheless forged ahead, ignoring suggestions from researchers on ways to reduce the harm. Hey, we could maybe reduce the harm. Shut up, I'm busy. Look, you know already, because you've seen the same documentaries I've seen, that the people that are CEOs and high-up developers in these organisations don't let their kids look at that stuff. The information gathered from SEL applications such as Along will likely be used to build out the data infrastructure that generates knowledge used to make behavioural predictions. This information is valuable to corporations seeking a competitive edge in developing technology products for young users. So what they'll say is, look, we've given you this stuff for nothing. This is going to help you stop them self-harming or taking their own lives or, eating bad or whatever. Oh, look, we've got all of this information. We own it now. Here's a suggestion. If they do want to do that for free, how about introduce this into the contract? The data belongs to the school. The data belongs to the individual. You can't bundle it up and sell it on to corporate and marketing partners down the line. And then if they're still interested in doing it, thanks for the kindness. Schools provide a useful testing ground to experiment with ways to hold the attention of children. Good old schools, a nice learning ground to experiment on children. Hold the attention of children, develop nudges. Developing a nudge for a child. Go on, go that way. Go on. What did it do when you nudged it? It cried. Cried. Kleenex, we've got another customer. And elicit desirable behavioural responses. Talking about children, does that worry you at all, just deep down in the old soul? What these tech companies learn from students using their SEL platforms can be shared with their own product developers and other companies developing commercial products for children, including social media applications. Yet Facebook's own internal research confirms social media is negatively associated with teen mental health. Can you find a way of making it that this negative association with teen mental health becomes better? No, because it does have a negative impact on teen mental health. So could you say it's good for parents? I mean, a depressed child probably will want to go to bed early, maybe. And this association is strongest for those who are already vulnerable, such as teens with pre-existing mental health conditions. Although Facebook claimed it was putting the Instagram Kid app on hold in September 2021, a November 2021 study suggests the company continues to harvest data on children. There are legislative restrictions governing the collection and use of student data, Unfortunately, if a contract with a school or district designates that business a school official, the child data can be extracted by the business, leaving the responsibility to obtain consent with the school district. So basically, they found a way round it. Remember, I suppose that's why it's become so important to demonstrate morality in superficial visual ways through signs, symbols, and signifiers, because actual morality, actual ethical conduct is just disappearing without trace. All people will do is like, oh shit, what, children are protected, are they? Yeah, you've got to protect children, can't harvest their data. Can't we just like appoint a school official? Oh yeah, if you did that, you could do it. Would it be wrong to charge the children? No, yeah, just give them the stuff for free, but then we own the data. I mean, everything is about avoiding morality without the appearance of avoiding morality, rather than just being moral. The connections between the Along platform and corporate technology giant Facebook are a good example of how these companies can operate in schools while maintaining their right to use personal information of children for their own business purposes. I suppose what that paragraph means is that Facebook and CZI and the Along platform aren't necessarily affiliated because of the nature of the funding. They're a composite entity when it comes to the crunch. But to avoid the kind of regulation that would be levelled at Facebook, because it's immoral for Facebook to capture the data of children, then to use that data to market, like, I don't know, antidepressives to them in a couple of years when they know that they're depressed, what you have to do is create subsidiaries. And because of the scale, the economic scale and the capacity of Facebook, they can create sub-entities in order to facilitate that. And that is precisely what they've done, and that's precisely how they're getting into your children's schools. Schools are commonly understood to be places where children can make mistakes. Not my fucking school. And express their emotions. Same. Without their actions and expressions being used for profit, and school leaders are customarily charged with the responsibility to protect children from any kind of exploitation. Digital SEL products, including Along, may be changing those expectations. It seems to me that they found a way to capture children's information without being exposed to the negative publicity that such a mendacious act would surely expose them to. But that is just what I think. Why don't you let me know in the comments below what you think about what this suggests about our moral culture, about where we're heading, about the amount of power that we're continually handing over to big tech because of their enormous capacities, because of their ingenuity. Can you see how the vulnerability and fallibility of your kids is now becoming commodified? Even their sadness is an opportunity for profit. Is that the world you want to live in? Hit me up in the comments below. Give this video a like. Subscribe to our channel. Remember, only 48% of you subscribe. If you all subscribe, evidently, it gives us more power. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at this one or this one on similar themes. Sign up to my mailing list so I can stay in direct communication with you. It's very important that I'm able to do that. And if you're in the UK, come see me live. Carlisle, Plymouth, Bristol, Glasgow, all over this beautiful country. Most importantly of all, though, if you can, stay free.